Marvel's funniest team, they are back. But this sequel, let me know, is it more mixtape filler or is it a galactic banger? Let's smash through these Guardians movies. We are coming here with number 2. But legends, Hammer Squad, welcome back. This is Gedgehammer Reviews. This is the channel where we don't just talk about Marvel. We are smashing through it movie by movie. And if you're new here, then make sure you are hitting that subscribe button, ringing that bell, because we've got every single Marvel film, show, spin-off. It's all coming your way and loads more too. Today's entry, as we've said, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I've revisited this film several times and each time I watch it, I walk away with the same feeling. It's fine. It's got heart, it's quite bloated, it's a bit messy, and it's nowhere near the highs that we got with the original. But let's get into what works and what doesn't, and why, for me, it lands at a firm, but very fair, I feel, 2.5 stars. This movie kicks off really strong. You've got the classic Guardians chaos. We open with a spectacular set piece. We've got Baby Groot dancing around to Mr. Blue Sky, while the team takes down a space beast in the background. It's charming, it's hilarious, it's visually incredible. Instantly you're reminded of what makes these characters fun and why we love them. But after that it starts to unravel and it's just not there. Rocket steals some Anulax batteries, that's what they're called, from the Sovereign, who are basically a golden cult of genetically perfect narcissists. It's a cool concept, and the Sovereign, they do add some humour, but they're ultimately just throwaway side characters for now. There's just no growth there, no real development. Soon we are introduced to Ego, Peter Quill's long-lost father, played by the ever-watchable Kurt Russell. And this is where the film's pacing hits a wall. We spend so much time on Ego's planet, far too much in my opinion. And I just kept thinking, why are we still here? Nothing is happening. It's all set up and preamble and no movement. And I get it. The emotional stakes are meant to build and, you've got those little Easter eggs of what's coming. But I found it too drawn out and the tension doesn't build. It simply flatlines. And then we get the inevitable twist. Oh no, Ego murdered Peter's mum. Well, yeah, but we took ages to get there. It should be powerful, but who didn't see it coming? And the delivery of that revelation feels weirdly rushed compared to how long they spent setting it up. The pacing imbalance really affects this whole movie. The third act finally picks up with steam in a big, colourful, high-stakes battle, but it's too little too late. It's like a fireworks show where all the big bangs go off at once, and then for an hour we're all just sat around, just... Yeah, it's okay. It's not the best. But I want to break down the team as well, because this is where the movie really has its moments. In the characters, the storyline may vary and not be the most cohesive of movies, but as always with these characters, we've got Peter. He is the emotional centre of this film, and I think that this movie makes a strong case for why he's one of the best MCU characters. Chris Pratt gives a great performance yet again, showing range between charm, humour and heartbreak. We see him go from wide-eyed excitement about finding his dad to full-on rage when he realises the truth of what happened. The arc really works for me. I love the moment where Ego says that he gave Peter's mum cancer, and you see him piecing it together. It felt earned. It was great acting. It was really, really, really well put together by Chris. Star-Lord, he is a character. He could have just been comic relief in space, but here we see his layers. We've got grief, longing, rejection, and ultimately acceptance. He's easily a top 3 MCU character for me. Maybe that's because I love Parks and Recreation and I love Chris Pratt, but hey. We've got Gamora and Nebula, the massively improved from the first film. Their sibling rivalry is one of the better subplots in the movie. Nebula's bitterness feels justified. She was tortured by Thanos and lived in Gamora's shadow. And you've got Gamora trying to build that bridge back. And the added depth to both of those characters, it really builds throughout the movie. Their fight scenes are intense, and when Nebula says, "All I wanted was a sister," I actually felt something, and that's rare in a movie that's trying so hard to be funny all of the time. Now, unfortunately, being funny is where this film one of the characters is let down, it hurts, really. I love Drax in the first film. His literal mindedness, his grief, his quiet loyalty in Volume 1, they turn him into a joke machine, and they're not subtle jokes. I'm talking, let's make him say awkward stuff about nipples for 5 minutes. It's not that it's not funny, it is, but the balance has gone. The character's off. There's no depth. It's just gags, gags, gags. And it cheapens a really interesting character, and thankfully we do get that redemption for him in Volume 3, which probably is a top 3 movie. You got Rocket Raccoon. His arc is solid. It's no Guardians 3 for him, but he's pushing people away, sabotaging relationships, and we get a glimpse of why. His scenes with Yondu are some of the best in the film. You've got two outcasts bonding over their shared pain. Yes, please, more of that, and as we know, we don't half get it. The issue, Rocket's emotional moments are constantly undermined by the snark and sarcasm. They get it so right in Volume 3, so I'm sort of happy it wasn't the best here. But then we got Baby Groot. Now, is adorable, of course, he's marketable, I get it, he's funny, he's sweet, he sells toys. But if I'm being honest, he's a bit overused here. The Ravager escape sequence with him bringing back the wrong items, yeah, okay, it's funny the first time. There was no need for it to keep replaying. Still, I'm not made of stone. Baby Groot's pretty cool. I got the Lego set. It is what it is. MVP, Yondu. This is where the film truly shines. He goes from his background Ravager to this emotional powerhouse. His relationship with Peter is one of the most touching parts and moments of the entire MCU. And that line that we get, that he may have been your father, boy, but he wasn't your daddy. Now, that's so important. His sacrifice is beautifully done, and the Ravager funeral scene with the music and the visuals, such a great ending for a great character. If this film had leaned more into that kind of storytelling, I think we'd be having a very different conversation and probably talking about the Guardians trilogy being the best collection of movies in the MCU. But again, let me know what you think about that though, the best trilogy. I've had arguments. I could argue this quite easily. But let's be fair, this movie is stunning. The colours, the CGI, the alien designs. Mr. Gunn is not letting us down here. He knows how to shoot a visually stunning film. Every frame is bursting with cosmic weirdness and sort of detail. Ego's planet in particular is one of the most creatively designed settings in the entire MCU. But here's the catch. Great visuals do not make a great film on their own. And this is what Zack Snyder's issue is as well, I believe. The style can only carry you so far if the substance underneath is lacking. The humour is also a double-edged sword because it's there are definitely funny moments, of course there are. Look at the cast that we've got here, but it's relentless. The jokes come too fast, too forced and too often at the expense of those emotional scenes. It's like the movie's afraid to just let us feel anything too serious. It's afraid to be too bold and daring, which is where number 3 is so good. But if you enjoyed the balance of the first one, then unfortunately this one does take it too far, and it is a huge weakness on this film, and it glazes over those heavier scenes that are well acted and well done, but it's just the balance is off, and I think that is the overriding sense here. One of the biggest letdowns, if you're into this sort of thing in this movie though, is the mixtape for me. The first film had the soundtrack behind it that defined it. You know, you've got songs like Come and Get Your Love, Hooked on a Feeling, Ain't No Mountain High Enough. These became instantly iconic pieces of music, not just themselves, but as part of this film and this universe. There are a few really good songs, you know, it's there, it's okay, it fits fine, but they feel like filler. The kind of tracks that you'd skip halfway through your playlist. It's just the way it is. It's not a bad soundtrack, of course, but compared to what came before and after, it's forgettable. This is the rubbish sandwich filling your mum would give you on a Friday when you've run out of school stuff. That, you know, that's what it is. The bread is great always, but the filler, So where does this one land? Well, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, this is not a failure by any stretch of the imagination. Trust me, it gets worse. It's not unwatchable. It's funny, it's beautiful, and it has heart, but it also is messy, uneven, and maybe bloated. It's got too many characters as well, and I think this is where the world building goes a bit silly. We're introducing too many things, and it can become a bit overwhelming. It's missing the magic of the first movie. This is very much, and I think this sums it up perfectly, a middle movie in the trilogy. It exists to bridge the emotional arcs between 1 and 3. It gives us the necessary development, but not a particularly entertaining package. So for me, that is why it sits at 2.5 stars. It's just about worth a rewatch, but it's not something that... It's not going to be my first one on Disney Plus. When I'm doing an MCU marathon, it's not going to be Guardians 2 to start. Of course, that could just be me. I am wrong majority of the time, but what do you think? Do you love this film? Do you find it a bit of a letdown compared to the first? I think you're a liar if you don't. But get involved in the comments. I always want to hear your Marvel thoughts, hot takes. What do you think? Let me know and let's talk about it. But make sure, as always, to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, get those notifications on so that you don't miss the next entry as we go through the entire MCU and more, one movie at a time. I will catch you on the next one, which is quite... I'm looking forward to it, but it's a deep dive. I'm going through the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy, so I'll let you know my thoughts on that. But as always, guys, you know it and you know what it is. Keep on smashing. Have an amazing day, and I will see you on the next one.